Hi, good morning all. Welcome to today's class of current affairs. And again, today's class will be a bit different, and the way of teaching will be again a bit different. Okay. Moreover, the idea is to make you educate on certain things which will be important in the coming day-to-day examinations, which will be asked, okay, whether it is SSC or banking or whatever. Okay, so the first news, if you see here, I have taken, India will have to develop a customized model. India will have to develop a customized model that can issue advance warnings. Right now, if we go to this, we have to obviously see what all things have been asked here. Right now, first is obviously India. When we underline one, then is customized model that can issue advance warning systems. Now, when we come to advanced warning systems of flood, it is very important to understand that why this advanced warning of flood is important, right? Because when we go through the situations of flood, we know that this flood are disasters, right? When it comes to disasters, what this disaster means, because whenever there is a flood, there is a lot of issue, right? There is always a loss of life. It can be humans or animals, loss of properties, right? And immense amount of spread of disease, right? Now, why this immense amount of spread of disease? We need to understand this because this disease are outbroken and it may be endemic. For example, if you remember the disease, the flood which happened in Chennai a couple of years back, what happened? They were always this disease is quite often because obviously there is no particular home to survive, and whenever there are places, those places are either mosquito prone or they are not eligible. Those are the places which are not fit for living, right? And moreover, the whole land is either with water or with mud. Apart from this, there is always a sanitation issue, right? So when I divide this, we come across few things. One is disease. So whenever you come to disease, we can find out what are the diseases which are important. Like if you see the disease which, as per definition of UN, like the diseases like polio, hepatitis B, Ebola, rubella, and Nipah virus, right? So when we discuss this, few important diseases comes into mind. One is polio, then hepatitis B, then rubella, Nipah, right? So here, what is important things to understand in exam point of view? Polio, who have invented the vaccination of polio? Where India stands in polio? As of now, India stands no polio report. India does not report any polio. That hepatitis B, when the vaccination, and who was the person who have established this hepatitis B, similar to rubella and Nipah, right? So these are the things. This is the way where you can actually understand in exam point of view, right? So I won't take much time over here. So this is basically to make you understand what should be the importance. Now, when you come here, draft of data protection bill, but before that we need to understand that what is the importance of this, right? What is the importance of this particular bills which are important, right? So if we go to this, as I was telling, on disease, when we talk, we come across polio, we come across hepatitis B, and we come across so on, right? Now, it is also equally important to understand that why these terms are that important and why we need to understand, because as in the previous classes, I have already told that there is no some certain reasons, there are no certain reasons that why there should not, why there should be some different, why there should be particular, there is no such particular criteria where this have to go across, right? Because this can be anything. There is no certain limitations that whenever there is flood, there will be such warning system, right? It totally depends on how a particular country is modeled. So we need to understand what other things have to be understood here. Basically here the important things need to be understood again, that this India has been designated as a nodal center. India has been designated as a nodal center, okay, for preparing flash flood forecast by the World Meteorological Organization. That means India will have to develop a customized model that can issue advance warning of floods in Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and of course India, right? Now, basically, as I was telling, what is important things to make a note over here? One is obviously India have been decided to be a nodal center by the World Meteorological Organization, which will develop a customized model that can issue advance warnings of flood in Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand. Okay, now why there is a need of early warning? Like India, several Southeast Asian countries depend on the monsoon, right, for cultivation and farming, and are prone to its vagaries. The World Meteorological Organization, the World Meteorological Organization says flash floods account for 85%. This account for 85% of flooding incidents across the world, causing some, when it comes to loss of life, it is near to some 5,000 lives every year. Okay, so it matters a lot. Apart from this, the proposed model, this proposed model by the World Meteorological Organization will provide forecasts by computing the likelihood of rainfall and the soil moisture levels to warn of possible floods, right? So by using this warming of soil as well as the likelihood of rainfall, in beforehand the forecasting of flood can be done. So because of that, a lot of life and property can be saved. Property is quite difficult, but obviously life could be saved. Now why, what is this WMO? I'm since a long time I'm talking about WMO, that is World Meteorological Organization. What it is actually, basically this World Meteorological Organization is a specialized agency. Okay, this is a specialized agency of UN, United Nations, dedicated to basically weather, climate, and operation hydrology. In simple, water, climate, and climate and weather. Okay, and other related, apart from this, also to look after other geophysical sciences such as oceanography and atmospheric chemistry. Okay, so the functions, when you go to the, so this is the, what this is. This is particularly a specialized agency of UN, United Nations. What are the functions basically of WMO? By now it should be clear to you. When we go on dividing, basically WMO coordinates the activities of National Meteorological and Hydrological Services in 191 states and territories so that basic water, climate and water services are made available to anyone who needs them, right? Apart from this, WMO guarantees the publication. Apart from this, WMO, the first one obviously is what? The first one is to coordinate, right? The first one is obviously to coordinate the meteorological and hydrological services in 191 states, okay? That is 191 members, 191 states and territories so that basic weather, climate and water services are made available to anyone who needs them. Apart from this, WMO guarantees the publication of observations and statistics and further application of meteorology and hydrology to all aspects of human activities such as aviation, shipping, water management, agriculture. So in short, it helps in logistics, right? Then WMO also encourages research and training in meteorology and hydrology and their related applications and contributions towards reducing the impact of weather and climate related hazards. And this can be accomplished through regular and proper forecast. So the third important thing is forecast. And apart from this, we can also add, it also helps in predicting concerning local storms and the transport of pollutants. Like it also helps in the level of pollutants by the transport or by industrialization or whatever reason, right? So these are the few important things which should be understood regarding the topic on advanced warning systems, and that is how I have carried for this, right? Now let us go to the next one, draft of data protection bill. What is this data protection bill? When it comes to data protection bill, the protection bill, one thing comes into picture. What it is? Article 21. Article 21 of the Constitution says right to life as well as to live the life with dignity, for which privacy is a prime factor. Privacy should not be breached, okay? So this is one thing. Whenever it comes to protection, Article 21 comes into picture. Apart from this, let us see what is this protection. What is this protection bill? Okay, basically a committee was headed by a former Supreme Court Judge B.N. Sri Krishna. Okay, a former Supreme Court Judge B.N. Sri Krishna, okay, who recently submitted a recommendation and a draft law titled the Personal Data Protection Bill 2018 to the government. He have basically submitted its recommendation to the government. These are the two separate outcome documents basically submitted to the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology that will be steward a legislative effort and define the legal boundaries of the use of personal data. Okay, so this particular member, this Sri Krishna committee member, okay, have 10, basically 10-member committee. This is a 10-member committee which was set up in July 2017, and further in after a year, this particular B.N. Sri Krishna committee have submitted its framework for what? For securing the digital world. Okay, digital world, right? The digital world means to secure the privacy. The draft bill basically notes that the right to privacy is a fundamental right, as I have was discussed, where it discussed on fundamental right, Article 21 of the Constitution. Okay, so the right of privacy is a fundamental right, and it is necessary to protect personal data as a essential privacy, right? Personal data as an essential. That is what Article 21 talks about: right to life, right to dignity, and right to privacy. This bill also notes that it is necessary to create trust between the individual who provide the data and those who process this. Obviously, because when a certain person goes to a bank and when we go to purchase a SIM, even for a mobile, we update our Aadhaar with them, right? Assuming that they will not breach and they will not misuse our details of Aadhaar, right? So this is how it is. Basically, this is it is that's why necessary to create trust between any individual who provide the data to those who process them, right? On the right to be forgotten, the bills notes that data principle, which means that any individual or the person providing the data has a right to restrict or prevent continuing disclosure. Obviously, any person who is providing a data have a right that should not be disclosed, right? But the bill does not allow the right of total erasure, like but still, it is not like total erasure, like in European countries, right? This bill also calls for privacy by design on part of data processors like consent, data breach, sensitive data, etc., and so on. So, one important term we need to understand here in this data protection bill is DPA. DPA stands for Data Protection Authority of India. What? Data Protection Authority of India. It proposes basically this committee proposing to set up a DPA, that is Data Protection Authority, which should be an independent regulatory body responsible for the enforcement and effective implementation of the law, and it should be consisting of a chairperson. It should be consisting of a chairperson and 6 full-time members. 6 full-time members. Okay, so moreover, in case of any appeal against an order of the DPA, an appellate tribunal should be established, or an existing appellate tribunal should be granted powers to hear and dispose of any appeal. Apart from this, some other recommendation which was given by the committee was like the committee has recommended phased timelines for the adoption of different aspects of privacy law, making data protection a critical component in India's security posture rather than a mere compliance. Also, like the stringent penalties proposed on the misuse of data. If anyone misuses the data of any persons, then they should be strictly penalized, or strict action should be taken against them, right? So that is how it is. When we compare the data law, this is basically a what? This is basically this committee have prepared a data law, right? So when we compare this data laws in other countries, like for example, when I compare first with European Unions, let me compare first with European Unions, then US and Australia. So these are the three countries where this data protection Australia is very strong. So first, when I go to Europe, actually Europe has, I should mention here, basically this Europe has an all-encompassing law, like which came into effect on 25th May. They have a law which came into effect on May 25th, 2018 itself. Okay. Here the user consent needs to be explicit and right to be forgotten. Okay, here user's consent is highly important. Okay, and if this user wants that no, after the information is retrieved, that information should be deleted, then That is the right of that particular user. Okay. Right to forgotten is basically a concept. Right to forgotten. They have come with a term, right to forgotten. Right to forgotten. Right to forgotten. They have came with a concept that arose in the EU. Applies to businesses anywhere in the world that handle European data. Penalties for non-compliance are up to 4% of companies' global turnover or 20 million euro. Means any company who violates this right to forgotten, who violates the breach, any company, say for example, you have gone to say for example, being a European individual, suppose you have gone to get a SIM, and for getting the SIM you have linked your SIM with the particular data, say for example how we have Aadhaar data, Aadhaar card. Similarly you have European card, and you have while purchasing you have given that card, and if that particular company steal the information or steals the data, in that case, that company will be penalized. How much they will be penalized? They will be penalized 4% of their company's of their turnover, 4% of their turnover, or a minimum of 20 million euros. Okay, whichever is higher. In this case, whichever is highest, that will be penalized. When it comes to US, data protection is federal, basically. Federal means center as well as state. Each sector will deem with a which sector, center and state. Each sector will deem what is private or personal data. Here, one common like center or is not going to decide for all, and state is not going to decide for themselves. A movement to pass a new law on this was basically passed in 2017 by the Congress actually. Here 2017 by the US Congress, a bill was passed by the US Congress to check into data breaching. California, which signed the light law, was one of the first states in the US to implement privacy law. The first law which was implemented here was signed the light law. It was basically a California movement. It was basically a California movement which was supposed to have started in California. When it comes to Australia, how Australia have taken into privacy, basically they are from a long time, 1988. They have passed a law, Privacy Act 1988, which regulates the handling of personal information of any individual. Privacy is not a fundamental right here. Privacy is not a fundamental right in Australia and does not apply to government agencies or any political parties, right? So these are the few things which I wanted to bring into your observation and information, so that when you come across any such things, you should be aware of. Next topic, we'll go to Western Dedicated Corridor. What is this Western Dedicated Corridor? This corridor is basically these are the freight only railway lines to move goods and ports on the eastern and western coast. Okay, so this is basically to move goods between industrial heartlands in the north to ports of eastern as well as western ports. The dedicated freight only lines are built on the 4 key transportation routes that is known as Golden Quadrilateral and connecting. This is basically the Golden Quadrilateral routes. Okay, that is Delhi, then Mumbai, Chennai, Howrah in West Bengal, and its two diagonals, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai, Howrah. Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai, Howrah. Right? Apart from this, so this is a dedicated service. So to understand this, let me make more points. This Western dedicated flight will be from Dadri, UP to Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Mumbai. The total length of this corridor will be 1468 kilometers. This DFC, that is this DFC project, is an important part of Delhi Mumbai industrial corridor. Okay, and Japan have basically in the initial time showed interest in this WFC, that is Western dedicated corridor, and provide loan in 2006 to India. At Terminal Dadri, in the starting of Dadri, this line further extended to connect other places as well. Total land to acquire is 6,000 hectares, and 94.5% land has been acquired. By 2016, almost 95% of land have been acquired. Okay, so this Western dedicated freight corridors is basically a 1504 kilometer long route from Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Mumbai to Dadri via Vadodara, Ahmedabad, Palanpur, Phulera, Rawari and Western DFC. So basically, out of this quadrilateral part, the Western dedicated corridor, the first phase is going to have been started from this. Okay, now why do we need this DFCs? There are three things why we need a DFC. First is increasing burden. Covering a total of like 10,000 approx kilometers, this corridor carry the heaviest traffic. Okay, so the main reason is to ease the traffic, then for continuous freight movement. Okay, then faster logistics, and better revenue generation. Apart from this, when we are talking about this corridor, when the Western dedicated corridor, obviously the construction will create lots of jobs over these places, and the place which will come across or beside the development of this corridor will get equal chances of getting developed, right? Apart from this, considering increasing transport demands, it is believed that the congested routes and greenhouse gas emissions associated will decrease a bit, and this will even help in greenhouse gas deposits. Okay, so these are the few things one need to understand while going through this Western dedicated corridor topic, right? Now let us go to the next topic. Prime Minister Research Fellowship. Now, if you come across a few things, why this research fellowship is required? Because our country have been very weak in R&D. The government has therefore extended the scope of this particular Prime Minister Research Fellowship scheme. Okay, this decision was basically made after government failed to find adequate number of candidates for PMRF this year. When India have launched this PMRF, government failed to find adequate number of fellows. Okay, so only 135 fellowships were finally offered against 1,000 positions. Actually planned was 1,000, but we could not get 1,000 research fellowship, so we could got only 135 fellowships. So as of now, only 135 fellows are eligible for PM research fellowship scheme. Okay, there are changes that have actually there are some changes which have adopted. Basically, will this PMRF will now open to all potential researchers from 2019 and not limited to candidates. Earlier it was limited to IITs, IISc, NITs, IIESTs, IISER, and so. So it was limited to these places. Now it is open to all potential researchers. All potential researchers. Okay. So when it comes to PMRF, to understand more, this PMRF is aimed at attracting the talent pool of the country to doctoral like PhD programs of IIT and IISc for carrying out research in cutting edge science and technology domains, with obvious focus on national priorities, which was earlier limited to this particular elite institutions and now have been further extended to other universities and institutions as well. Here basically what is this fellowship basically is applicants who basically fulfill the eligibility criteria and are finally selected through a selection process. They will be offered admission to PhD program in one of IITs or IISc with a fellowship of 70,000 to be paid per month for the first 2 years and 75,000 per month for the third year and 80,000 per month in the fourth and fifth year. And therefore a research grant of rupees 2 lakh per year will be provided to each of the fellows for a period of 5 years to cover their academic contingency expenses and for foreign or national travel expenses. Apart from this, they will be provided an amount of nearly 2 lakhs per year for their academic contingency expenses and for foreign as well as national travel expenses. Okay, for attracting basically this was an initiative for attracting highly skilled researchers and scientists to pursue their R&D interest in Indian institutions. Okay, several initiatives have been launched such as faculty recharge program, CV Raman postdoctoral fellowship scheme by University Grant Commission, Ramanuj fellowship, JC Bose fellowship, Swarna Jayanti fellowship, Young Scientist Project Award, Women Scientist Scheme by Department of Science and Technology, and Ramalinga Swami Re-Entry Fellowship by Department of Biotechnology. Right. So similarly, many such fellowships have been introduced. The aim is to basically trap the Indian talent based on the national priority. So Ministry of Human Resource Development, that HRD, have launched this global initiative for academic work. Okay, so apart from this, the HRD have introduced GYAN, okay, that is Global Initiative Academic Network, which basically seeks to tap the talent pool of scientists and entrepreneurs from abroad, including those of Indian origin, to augment the country's existing academic researches. Okay, so those are the few things one need to keep in mind. One is obviously GYAN, and the other thing is the importance of this research fellowship. Okay, now let us move to our next topic. The next topic is Bomboli, new strain in Ebola virus. Here the turning point is Ebola virus. We need to understand what researchers have developed new strains in Ebola virus and where. Ebola virus, the first origin of Ebola virus is understood as Sierra Leone. Okay. Here, the key facts that it has been named as Bomboli virus strain after a district where it was found. Actually, it was found in Bombali. Bombali is a district, okay, in Sierra Leone. So that's why on that name, this Bombali have been named. The sixth in line, basically. This Bombali virus is overall sixth known virus strain Ebola virus. That is, Bombali is one of the six virus of Ebola that is known as of now. Others are like Zaire, Sudan. Apart from this, Sierra Leone, other countries are like Zaire, Sudan, Thai Forest, Bundi Bogio, and Reston. Okay, Ebola virus disease basically formerly was known as Ebola hemorrhagic fever. It was earlier known as Ebola hemorrhagic fever. Is a severe and often fatal illness. Okay, it is a very fatal illness. People die over this disease. This virus is transmitted to people from wild animals. Okay, transmitted to people from wild animals and spread into human population through human to human transmission. Moreover, the average EVD case fatality rate is around 50%. Okay, so those are the important things one need to understand. And here we need to see where is this Sierra Leone. Okay, but I'll discuss this Sierra Leone in the coming topic, because I have elaborated this particular Sierra Leone in the coming slides. So we'll discuss there when we'll come to back again. Okay, then we have the next news is on India's talks. India is in talks with United States to procure national advanced surface to air missile system 1. What it is? Okay, what it is, we need to understand first. This is basically a missile technology systems. Okay, so it is basically an advanced air defense system. Okay, like we have Dhanush with us, we have Akash missile with us. Similarly, this is an advanced air defense system which is highly adaptable mid-range solution for any operational air defense requirement. Okay, it provides basically a tolerable state-of-art defense system that can maximize the ability to quickly identify, engage, and destroy current and evolving enemy aircraft. Okay, so this can quickly identify, engage, and destroy current and evolving enemy aircraft, UAV, or emerging cruise missile threats. It is part of the air defense network guarding US capital city Washington DC. Okay, so it is deployed in several NATO countries. It has been deployed in several NATO countries. Moreover, it is armed with 3D Sentinel radar, short and medium range missiles, launcher and fire distribution center, and CEC unit. Quickly detects, tracks, and shoots down multiple airborne threats. If there are multiple airborne threats, it can track and shoot them in a single go. Okay, such as cruise missiles, aircraft, and drones. Deployed to guard US and several NATO countries. Now it have deployed in several NATO countries. Israel, Russia, and European militaries have also deployed them. India's own SILT is a final stages of development by DRDO, will be deployed to protect cities like Delhi and Mumbai. As of now, it has been protected to it has been developed by the DRDO to protect cities like Delhi and Mumbai as of now, which will be further increased to different areas of the country. Okay. The next topic is water contamination. Water contamination, a big trouble. When it comes to water contamination, the main contamination and the main problematic contamination in water for today is arsenic. A recent publication basically have in Jadhavpur, West Bengal, have come across the concentration of arsenic accumulation depends on variety of paddy and the stages in the crop cycle. This arsenic, Jadavpur University have come across with a root cause that this basically depends on the variety of paddy, okay, that is rice in the cultivation. This study basically highlights the process and dependencies of arsenic translocation in rice, okay, from contaminated irrigation water. Arsenic in groundwater is basically a contamination that is caused by natural geological processes. Incidents of high arsenic in groundwater reported from various parts of the country, particularly from Ganga plains, which is a serious threat, to the health of human being. Okay, over the last 3 decades, numerous measures have been initiated, which include alternate arrangement for supply of arsenic-free water to affected populace and provide arsenic removal plants as well. And that is the reason many places you can see have come across with RO plants. The reason is quite obvious: to remove all these unnecessarily chemicals which are highly not required for the body. What need to be done? Technological option to combat arsenic maintenance in groundwater. A lot of sources have been initiated, like Payajal, then government is scheme to provide clean water for drinking. So this is all have to be initiated. So when it comes to the exam point of view, what things you need to understand is India's policy for pure drinking water need to be understood. Okay, like Prime Minister, Pradhan Mantri, Payajal. Okay, so those are the few initiative you need to understand. If question is asked, if question comes tomorrow, what is a main problem in water in India? The main problem in water in India is arsenic contamination, which is basically because of crop cycle, which during the irrigation process gets into the ground. Okay, groundwater. Next topic is Mukhyamantri Kishan Aay Badhotri Solar Yojna. Is this? Okay, Mukhyamantri Kishan Aay Badhotri Solar Yojna. Badhotri, this means increment. Okay, Mukhyamantri means CM, Kisan means farmer, Aay means income, Badhotri means increment. Okay, so Chief Minister's Farmers Income Increment Yojna. What it is? Actually, the Delhi government has approved this particular scheme, under which farmers in national capital in Delhi will be able to lease out part of their agricultural land for setting up solar panels to get additional income. Okay, like farmers can land their land for rent for these solar panels to get additional income. Okay, under the scheme, any farmer can rent out not more than 1/3. However, there are limitations, like any farmer cannot lend more than 1/3 of its land. The maximum a farmer can offer is up to a 1/3. Okay, under the scheme, any farmer can rent out not more than 1/3 of his land to a private firm to set up solar panels at a rate of rupees 1 lakh per annum per acre. At a rate of 1 lakh per annum per acre. Okay, so if a farmer is leasing out 1/3 of a land and say that 1/3 of land is approx 1 acre, then in that case the company is going to pay farmer up to 1 lakh rent per annum. Okay, the panels will be set up at a height of 3.5 meters. It will be set up at a height of 3.5 meters so that the land can be used for agriculture. Okay, it will be set up at 3.5 meters so that underneath the ground can also be utilized for agriculture. It means the agriculture should not be disturbed at any case. The benefit of the scheme will be like the annual income of the beneficiaries farmers. If we go on estimating, it will be between rupees 30,000 and rupees 50,000 per acre per year, which will increase to between 1.30 lakhs to rupees 1.5 lakh following the implementation of the scheme. Initially, it may starts from rupees 30 to 50,000, but it will grow to rupees 1.3 lakhs to 1.5 lakhs. Beside, apart from this, getting additional income, the farmers will also get will get 1,000 units of free solar power without any investment. Apart from this, they will be getting free 1,000 units of power. So it's a win-win situation for the farmers, because apart from getting money, they will also get 1,000 units of power. The department currently is buying electricity at rupees 9 per unit, and with the implementation of a scheme, now what is going to benefit to the government is the government which is buying at rupees 9 per unit. Okay, will be implementation of the scheme. After the implementation of the scheme, the expense will come down to rupees 5 per unit. So there is a saving of 4 rupees, and that is how the government will save around rupees 400 to 500 crore annually if the government go by this particular scheme, right? Next, government constitutes high-level empowered committee to revive stress thermal power. What it is, why this is important, why thermal power is that important. Thermal power is a power which is basically generated from the obviously thermal activities, right? Like thermodynamics. Here, this is an important factor, because when we come across this particular kind of term that government constitutes a high-level empower committee to revive space thermal power, because this thermal power are what dependent on coal. So when we are dependent on coal is what? Coal is basically a conventional source, a conventional raw source. So whenever it comes to conventional source, it is obviously a dependency of a government for a particular source. Say for example, tomorrow there is a transportation problem. Okay, there is a transportation problem, and because of whatever reason, the resource, the coal, could not reach to the power plant. So in that case, what happened? The power plant gets shut, right? The power plant will be not able to run as it must be. So in that case, what happens is, in that case, obviously it disturbs the production of thermal electricity. It disturbs the electricity generation, and that indeed will bring a lot of problems. That indeed will create a lot of problems in generation of electricity. And we all know that electricity, what is the importance of electricity in day-to-day life, right? Basically, it will impact industrialization. When it impacts in the how it is going to impact industrialization, because the industry which is dependent on this power, the production, if there is no proper supply of current, obviously what happens to the industry will be in problem because the industry will be not able to do fair, and that will indeed disturbs the employment of the people, as the people will be not getting their share dues, right? So those are few things you can go through when for this particular topic. Okay, let us move to the next one. The next one is free Wi-Fi services. Free Wi-Fi services by ministry under Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojna. Under Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojna. Here, the key points need to be understood is like here, setting up 25,000 Wi-Fi hotspots at existing rural exchanges of BSNL. The key points is setting up 25,000 Wi-Fi hotspot at existing rural exchanges of BSNL will be done. All other agencies and private telecom operators will provide Wi-Fi services to every panchayat across India. All agencies are going to provide every panchayat. Okay. Under BharatNet project, the government have targeted to link around 2.5 lakh gram panchayats, village panchayats. Okay, under this BharatNet project, out of this, remaining 1.5 lakh panchayats will be connected with high-speed internet by March. Out of this, 1.5 lakh villages will be connected with high-speed internet. High-speed internet by March 2019. Until now, 2,335 mobile towers are present in left-wing extremist area, coming to extreme areas. Okay, like Naxalite prone areas, 2,335 mobile towers are present. A total of 4,072 towers will be installed in second phase. Apart from this, 4,072 towers will be expanded for connecting this BharatNet project. Okay, so Bharat Broadband Network Limited, BharatNet is also known as BharatNet. You should note this particular point. BharatNet. It is also known as Bharat Broadband Network Limited. Okay, it is a telecom infrastructure provider set up under Telecom Department for the establishment, management and operation of National Optical Fiber Network to provide a minimum of 100 Mbps broadband connectivity. All 2,50,000 2.5 lakh gram panchayats in the country, covering nearly 6,25,000 villages. Basically, this 2.5 lakh grams panchayat will be covering another 6,25,000. Okay, 6,25,000 villages to improve telecommunication in India. So what is important? Who will be taking care of this? The Ministry of Communication will be taking care of this. Okay. So the Ministry of Communication, who is the Minister of State for Communication? It is Manoj Sinha. Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojna, in which year it was established? Question. The answer will be 2014. Then what is the key objective of this Yojna? The key objective of the Yojna are development of model villages like Adarsh Grams, creating models of local development, and each MP to choose one village, okay, from the constituency that they represent to make it a model village. Okay, so under Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojna, each MP will be choosing one village. Okay, one MP, one village. Okay, for the improvements. Next, seminar 2018 seminar and exhibition organized by Center for Joint Welfare Studies, CENJOS. What is this? Basically, this is it was organized by Center for Joint Welfare Studies. Okay,
So the Chief of Army Staff, that is General Bipin Rawat, and Director of General Army Air Defense, they have basically set this defense expo. Okay, so the Corps of Army Air Defense is an active corps of Indian Army. It is responsible for protection of Indian airspace. Basically, the reason for why this organized St. Joe's to protect Indian airspace. Okay, so there is nothing more to understand, and it was organized in 27 July in New Delhi. Question may be asked where St. Joe's was organized. So the answer for this will be Delhi. Okay, so you can see here Rafale, Saab, Thales. So those are the defense companies who actually manufacture and produce different defense systems. Okay, next is High Court declares Arunachal Pradesh Parliamentary Secretary Act as unconstitutional. So when it comes to Arunachal Pradesh, again few things need to be understood. What is the capital of Arunachal Pradesh? Capital of Arunachal Pradesh is Itanagar. Chief Minister, who is Chief Minister? Pema Khandu. Pema Khandu. Governor is B.D. Mishra, right? Question may come anywhere. Question may come. B.D. Mishra. What are the important things in Arunachal Pradesh? Arunachal Pradesh have very important national parks. One is Namdapha National Park, and one is Mauling National Park. Okay, that is when it comes to Arunachal Pradesh. Now let us come back to the topic. High Court declares Arunachal Pradesh Parliamentary Secretaries Acts as unconstitutional. Basically, the Guwahati High Court in Assam has declared that Arunachal Pradesh Parliamentary Secretaries, that is appointment, salaries, allowances, miscellaneous provisions, are unconstitutional in line with Supreme Court's judgment. Basically, the judgment bench, which comprise of justice, so they are against a public interest litigation filed in the matter of appointing parliamentary secretary. The Pema Khandu government in Arunachal Pradesh has at present 23 parliamentary secretaries. Okay, so those are the few things one need to keep in mind. Next topic is bilateral exercise on pollution conducted by India and Bangladesh Coast Guards. Where this was held? This was held in, important points over here, it was held in Kolkata between 26 to 27 July. Okay, this exercise was conducted in the backdrop of the MOU signed by the India and South Asian Cooperation for Environment Protection. This was in line with SACEP, South Asian Cooperation for Environment Protection. Okay, Indian side was led by ICG commander. Okay, whereas Bangladesh was led by the commanding officer. Both sides discussed on maritime issues and capacity building of Bangladesh. Right, so these are the important points to keep in mind. Next, West Bengal Assembly passes Lokayuta Amendment Bill. Okay, so when it's come to Kolkata, West Bengal, so the important capital is Kolkata. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, right? And Lokayuta. Lokayuta is a independent body which have the right to look into even corruption at ministry levels, right? Now here, this move has been made with an aim to move up in the alphabetical sequence of states. Okay. Alphabet, like recently West Bengal have decided to go for Bangla from West Bengal. to come in line of alphabetical sequence. Earlier, the center had rejected West Bengal's proposals of having three names: Bangla in Bengali, Bangla in English, and Bengal in Hindi. Earlier, what happened is West Bengal have proposed three names, okay, of West Bengal. That is, first was Bangla in Bengali, Bengal in English, and Bengal in Hindi. So now it is going to be one name. It has been proposed one name, that is Bangla. Also in 2011, West Bengal governments proposed to rename this West Bengal as Paschim Bengal. Earlier, before naming it Bangla, West Bengal, in 2011, this is this year 2018, 2011, the government had proposed a name of Paschim Bengal. Okay. So here this is important. Now coming to the main topic of this, West Bengal Assembly passes Lokayuta Amendment Bill. Basically, there are 59 state subjects. The bill allows the Lokayuta to investigate on the other 58 subjects under the state list with the approval of 2/3 of members of the assembly present and voting. It also does not allow Chief Minister to matters relating to public order, recruitment of police, deployment of forces, and any other emergency situations would be regarded as a public order. This amendment bill has been prepared in accordance with the Lokpal and the Lokayukta Act passed by the Centre and the West Bengal Lokayukta Act. Okay, now when it comes to Lokayukta, Maharashtra was the first state to introduce the institution of Lokayukta. Okay, the latest Lokayukta was established in Tamil Nadu. Okay, the first was in Maharashtra, latest in Tamil Nadu, and now it is going to be in West Bengal. So there are 59 state subjects, and the bill, out of 59 state subjects, okay, 58 subjects under the state list with the approval of 2/3 member of the fact. Okay, so this West Bengal Assembly has passed Lokayukta for the same. Next, Odisha signs MOU with site savers to strengthen education for blind students. The objective is basically to benefit 25,000 visually impaired and 3 lakh students with special needs. Okay, so the headquarters of the site savers is Melksham, UK. Okay, it was founded in 1950. And the CEO is Arun Mohanty. Okay, so site savers will provide technical support for this particular vision. It will include disability management, low vision assessment, curriculum, and special skill development capacity. It will demonstrate information and communication technology based on education, low vision devices, DAISY players, tablets, accessible educational materials, disabled friendly teaching learning materials, and so on. Basically, this is to bring skill. This is basically in line with the skill development and empowering the persons who are visually impaired. Okay. Next is Haryana Social Justice Department to launch special campaign against drug menace. Chief Minister of Haryana. When it comes to Haryana, we need to understand a part of Haryana. Who is the Chief Minister of Haryana? Chief Minister of Haryana is Manohar Lal Khattar. Governor is Kaptan Singh Solanki. Capital is Chandigarh. National parks are Kelasar National Park, Sultanpur National Park. Lakes they have bit important lakes as well, like Bluebird Lake, Bhatkal Lake, Karna Lake, Damdama Lake, Tiliar Lake. Question may come that where Karna Lake is situated. So obviously it is in Haryana. Okay. Now coming back to the topic, for this particular type of task force under the this commissioner. Haryana Social Justice Department has launched special campaign against drug menace. Okay, this campaign would include prevention of sale of drug, treatment of drug addicts, awareness among people about the adverse effects of drugs on their health. Okay, Sistri drug re-addiction and rehabilitation centers with NGOs are operating, and the applications for NGOs working for drug de-addiction would be invited by August 14, 2000 in September or October 2018, right? Now, to the next topic, Uttar Pradesh set up committee to look into demands of Shiksha Mitras. What is the Shiksha Mitra? When it comes to Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister is, who is Chief Minister? He's a very famous man, right? Yoginath. Okay. Anyway, the important thing here in this particular news is this move, basically, this Shiksha Mitra. Why? What are the Shiksha Mitra? Mitra means obviously friend. Shiksha means obviously education. Basically, this have set up in line because this move has been made after continuous protest by the Shiksha Mitra throughout Uttar Pradesh. Okay, the committee was formed by the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. This committee, which is headed by Deputy Chief Minister Dinesh Sharma. Okay, after studying the issues, the committee have submitted a report. Okay, the Shiksha Mitras have been demanding. What are the demands basically? The Shiksha Mitra have been demanding the direct appointment of 30,000 TET pass Shiksha Mitras as teachers, providing financial assistance to people who died during the agitation. Some people who have died during the agitation, they should be given financial assistance, and rupees 38,878 to those who have not been offered government jobs instead of rupees 10,000 promised by the government. Initially, government had promised 10,000, but the demand is to increase the salary to 38,878. Next, SoftBank and Paytm partner to launch cashless payments service in Japan. So Paytm was, as of now, it is in India. Now they are looking to further expand into Japan. This service would be launched by SoftBank joint venture company PayPay. Okay, this will be a joint venture company PayPay, and this was established. This have been established in June 2018, last month itself. It would utilize Paytm's technology and expertise in mobile payments. This will provide a cashless payment in Japan. Cash is mainly used for Paytm in Japan, with cashless payments only remaining at 20%. To help and boost the government's decision of raising the cashless payment ratio to 40% by 2025, this decision was taken. Okay, basically the cashless payment ratio, they are going to boost the government's decision for raising cashless payment to 40%. And in line with that, Paytm have merged with SoftBank. So Paytm was, what is important, Paytm is now a bank as well. Founded in 2010, the founder was Vijay Sekhar Sharma. Parent company was 197 Communication, headquarters Noida, Uttar Pradesh, and it basically offers mobile payments of over 300 billion. The next is Accenture to help. Basically, Google teams up with Accenture to help enterprise move to cloud. Forms Accenture Government Cloud Business Group, right? Here, this announcement was made in Google Next 2018 in US basically. This will help companies to build next generation business processes with artificial intelligence and machine learning. The main objective over here is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, to develop new value across the enterprise. So question may ask that what is the basic of this? what is the root cause and what is the base point of this basic merger. So the main point is to come across and bring improvement on this particular terms. Next is Virat Kohli was presented with the International Player of the Year Award 2017 and 18 by the Barmy Army. Okay. So who is Virat Kohli? Virat Kohli is basically Indian cricketer captain. We need to understand what is Barmy Army. Okay, so Barmy Army is a popular group of English cricket fan. It is a popular group of English cricket fan. Okay, at present, the Indian cricket team is in England to play a 4-day friendly match. So in 2018, Virat Kohli have played 19 matches as of now in various formats and has scored 1,181 runs with an average of 65.61. So he was chosen by this English cricket fan club, Barmy Army. Okay. Next is Ramakant Rath conferred Odisha's highest literacy rate equivalent to Sahitya Academy, and it is also called as Odisha's Sahitya Academy, which carries a cash prize of Rs 1 lakh, and he was offered for his Odia literature. Okay. Next is UN's Top Environment Award Champion for Earth presented to CIAL. What is CIAL? Cochin International Airport Limited. Why? Cochin Airport is the first in the world to be fully powered by solar energy. It is the only airport which is fully powered by solar power. Okay. By September 2018, the solar capacity will increase to 40 megawatt. Okay. It is almost done. It will give 60 million units per annum power and save rupees 40 crore per annum. And because of this initiative, 40 crores are going to be saved per year for the airport. This will also avoid carbon dioxide emissions. Apart from this, by more than 9 lakh metric tons over the next 25 years, equivalent to planting 90 lakhs of trees. Okay, so the saving of carbon dioxide is equivalent to the plantation of 90 lakh trees. Because of this, the airport stands fourth in the country in terms of international traffic and seventh in total traffic. CIL, that is Cochin International Airport Limited, is a company which owns and operates country's first airport, which become power neutral in August 2015 with the commissioning of 12 megawatt solar power then, which is going to raise to 40 megawatt now. Okay, it was found in obviously 2005, and the purpose was obviously to be less dependent on conventional sources. Next is Imran Khan elected as the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. Imran Khan is basically from a party. Question comes that from which party Imran Khan was. So the party is TEI, that is Tehreek-e-Insaf. Tehreek-e-Insaf. Okay. So his party have won against PML, that is Pakistan's Muslim League of Nawaz Sharif's. Okay, so he won against this. The previous government who was ruling was PML, Pakistan Muslim League. Next is U20 coach Floyd Pinto named head coach of Indian Arrows in I-League football. So obviously I don't have to tell more on this. Okay. President is obviously Praful P. Patel. When Coal Turned Gold is written by Parthasarathi Bhattacharya. Basically, he have discussed how this this book talks about the transformation of basically Coal India Limited from a loss-making enterprise into a profitable Maharatna. Okay. Next, sixth, India UK Science Innovation Council meeting held in New Delhi. Okay, here who is basically represented by Indian side? What can be important over here is uh, from Indian side, it was represented by Dr. Harshvardhan, who is a Minister of Science and Technology for Earth, Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, apart from this, what is this Science and Innovation Council? Now let us discuss in this. After Newton Bhabha partnership, new partnership may happen areas like cyber physical system, artificial intelligence, digital economy, health technologies, cyber security and promoting green growth, smart urbanization, future mobility and environment. Those are the areas where actually India is trying to go with a bilateral cooperation. So India UK Science and Innovation Council is one of that, which will help in bilateral cooperation, and in the same time will establishment of joint virtual center on clean energy, implementation of research programs on cancer biology, even agriculture, nitrogen atmosphere, um, then projects on maternal child health, antimicrobial resources, water quality, and many such things which can be researched in a bilateral cooperation. So SIC give that platform. SIC will give that platform. Next is Mahila Shakti Kendra scheme 2017 to 20 launched to empower rural women through community partnership in 115 aspirational district. Okay, so the cost sharing for the scheme will be 60 is to 40. 60 is to 40 between center and the states except northeastern states. Northeast and special category states, the in north, here it is in center. Already we have discussed in the last class, right? Whereas it comes to northeast states, the ratio is 90 to 10. So the 60 it will be paid by the center, 40 will be the state, whereas in northern states, center is going to pay 90 and the state 10. Okay, the benefit will be it will act as a link between village block and state level in facilitating women-centric schemes. It will also facilitate like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Last time already we have discussed this. Then Mission Shatyanishta, a program on ethics in public governance, was basically launched by which organization? Question I asked. So here the answer will be Indian Railways. Okay, so it was launched by the National Rail Museum, New Delhi. The objective is to bring transparency and ethics in work culture and among all railway employees. Pranam Act, country's first of a kind act launched by Assam government. This is basically what is Pranam? Okay, we need to understand this. What is Pranam? The act will basically, this particular act, Pranam Act, will actually deduct 10% of an employee's pay and transfer it to the account of the relatives concerned. Another 5% will be deductible if the employee has a differently abled sibling. It means if a employee have a differently abled sibling, then 5% of his earning will go to the differently abled, whereas 10% will be transferred to the account of the relatives concerned. Thus, it will compel Assam government employees to take care of their respective parents. It also has provisions to help siblings with physical or mental disability. It's a very good move. Basically, this move is to bring parents and differently abled siblings in line with financial protections, the minimum financial protections. So anyone who is working, if any employee who is working, 10% should go to a relative. That is how parent is put under relative, and 5% of the earning will go to this differently able siblings, right? Whatever the person earns. Next is Bomboli virus. Already have discussed on Sierra Leone. Where is Sierra Leone? Sierra Leone, you can see in the western part of Africa. This is Africa, so you can see here Sierra Leone, right? Capital of Sierra Leone is Freetown. Official language is English. Currency is Leone. Leone. Okay, the currency is Leone. Capital is Freetown. So this is the place where Ebola virus have first emerged. Next is India. Invest India and UA Ministry sign MOU for technological cooperation. This partnership will produce an estimated USD. This will produce an estimated USD 20 billion in economic benefits in next 10 years. In next 10 years. Okay, for India and UAE. For India as well as UAE. How much? 20 billion in 10 years. This MOU will enhance development in blockchain. This will help in development in blockchain, artificial intelligence, and analytics. By 2035, artificial intelligence can potentially add another 956 billion USD to the Indian economy. MOU was signed at the India leg of GOVAX series. Okay, from Indian side it was Suresh Prabhu, right? Whereas from UAE it was H.E. Ahmed Sultan. Okay, UAE India collaboration will convene a UAE India all working group. Okay, all working group between the UA Ministry for Artificial Intelligence in Invest India and Startup India. Okay, UAE is India's the facts which need to be understood over here is UAE is the India's third largest trading partner. Indian constitutes the largest execs community, UAE at 27%. The population of Indians in UAE is 27%. One. Second is UAE's third largest trading partner. Then UAE has invested more than 5.3 billion US dollars. UAE has committed around 75 USDs. 75 US dollars development in India as well. Next is Ministry of Earth Science celebrated Foundation Day. Dr. Kushal Rajendran won National Award for Women Scientist. Dr. Kushala Rajendran, National Award for Women Scientist. The other list I have mentioned here. The Lifetime Excellence Award was given to Professor K. Swadhya. Basically, this is for Earth Science. Then for Ocean Science, Dr. Satish Shinoy. Atmospheric Science, B.V. Krishnamurthy. Geoscience, Professor Sekhar Muddu and Sunil Vajpayee. For women scientists, Dr. Kushala Rajendran, already discussed. She is from IIC Bangalore. Young researcher, Dr. Mala S. Bhagya, Dr. Praveen Kumar. Okay. India's women compound archery team bag #1 sport in world archery team. One is India, followed by China and Colombia. This is going to be, not can be, it is a definite question of the upcoming examination. Then World Hepatitis B. Here, World Hepatitis B is celebrated on July 28. July 28 is observed as World Hepatitis Day every year. This day was chosen as it is the birthday of Dr. Baruch Bloomberg, who discovered. This day is celebrated as the birthday of Dr. Baruch Bloomberg, who discovered hepatitis B virus. So he was the person who discovered this virus, and based on his name, on his birthday, this particular day is celebrated. He also developed a diagnostic test as well and vaccine for this virus. Okay, WHO has declared theme for World Hepatitis Day as the test, treat hepatitis. Okay, so when it comes to WHO, what comes? WHO. Where is headquarter of WHO? Headquarter of WHO is Geneva in Switzerland. Okay, and the director of WHO is Tedros Adhanom. Okay, next. National Skill Training Institute for Women launched by Dharmendra Pradhan in Mohali. Who is Dharmendra Pradhan? Dharmendra Pradhan is the Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, as well as Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Okay, so this particular cost of the project is 17 crores. This is a 17 crore project, and this is first NSTI, that is National Skill Training Institute for Punjab, and exclusively for women. This is exclusively for women. Okay, it would be developed into trainers training institution, which will give training in traditional areas for women like beauty care, cosmetology, and fashion design, as well as in technology. He also launched a first of its kind unique Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra for differently abled persons in Mohali. Apart from this, a differently able Kaushal Kendra was inaugurated. He also launched India's first in-phone guide and mobile application, Go What's That, in Chandigarh. So those are the few important topics regarding skill development from this. Next is Sri Krishna panel recommends change in Aadhaar Act, already discussed on data breach. Then a world record of 58 seconds. A world record of 58 seconds set by Kathleen Baker at the US Swimming Championship, right? So it was on July 29th when Kathleen Baker set a world record of 58 seconds. In the 58 seconds, she have won a 100-meter backstroke. 100-meter backstroke, she covered in 58 seconds. Earlier record was 58.10 seconds by Canadian. Earlier it was the record was earlier record I should mention here. The earlier record was 58.10 and it was carried by Canadian. Okay, done by Canadian Kylie Mess at the World Championship in Budapest. Okay, last time, but this time in US Championship, Kathleen Baker set a world record, right? Then apart from this, 29th July is also celebrated as, like, 28th July is what? 28th July is celebrated as Hepatitis B, whereas 29th July is celebrated as International Tiger Day. As we know, tiger is now is an endangered zone, and government and even the world is pitching high on this. The objective is to raise awareness for tiger conservation basically. It was recreated in 2010 at the St. Petersburg Tiger Summit, where leaders of 13 tiger range countries resolved to double its number in the wildlife by 2022. Okay, India conducts a census to assess tiger population every 4 years. Every 4 years, India conducts a census. The cycles of estimation have already been completed in 2006, 10, and 2014. In 2006, there were 1,411 tigers. In 2006, the number of tigers were 1,411. Then in 2010, it have increased to 1,701. In 2014, it have increased to 2,226. So we can see the change in trend, and obviously India is in line. Only 3,890 tigers, that is near to 4,000 tigers, are left in the world. In the whole world, only 3,890 tigers are left. Out of this much are in India. So we can understand the level of danger that is for the tigers. Okay. So to commemorate this day, walls of Amravati railway stations are being covered with wildlife paintings to create awareness about the importance of protection of tigers. A new initiative to make people earn livelihood has been started by Melghat Tiger Reserves in 8 villages near Dhyanaganga Sanctuary in Buldana district. And according to this tiger census carried out in 2017, Melghat has 41 adult tigers and 18 cubs. It is under the Project Tiger, which now says that India has more than 50 reserves. Okay, so about this Project Tiger, it was basically launched in 1st April 1973. So that is all about this particular areas which need to be discussed. So you can see here how we go across things. So whenever you go through a topic, it is very important that wherever you feel to connect. Now how we could have done here is we could have mind mapped this tiger project to forest, okay, and national parks. So what you do is take this homework. Forest, when it comes to forest, types of forest in India, important forests, okay, like evergreen deciduous forest. What are the trees which are available from evergreen deciduous forest and coniferous forest? What are the trees available? Similarly, national parks. What are the national parks at different states? Because many a time questions comes that one particular kind of national park is situated in which place. Say for example, Kanha National Park is situated in which place, or Bannerghatta National Park is situated in which state, and the options will be given, right? Here, though there is a Tiger Day, but questions may pop up in relation to that. Apart from this, you can go to environment as well. And environment, you can check that when Environment Day is celebrated, what are the endangered species, basically flora and fauna, and many such things, right? So that is how we can go across the stuff. So with this, I'll conclude today's class and see you again tomorrow with particular new topics, right? Till then, have a good day.